I don't know if I'm audible when this video is on, but I guess we're about to find out. Hello everybody, hope we're well. Welcome to Leeds Lowdown Live, which is an occasional stream that I will do that is just a little bit of Leeds news brought to your ear holes, a little bit of Leeds conversation. We'll talk about bits and bobs that are going on at the moment. We'll talk about the Ilian Meslier news, is a pretty big one. We'll talk whatever's going on with Crescencio Somerville. There's been a little bit more on Archie Gray, which I thought was quite interesting. And a lot of it is to do with various little price tags that we have put on Leeds United players, which are a little bit spooky. How do? I do all right, thank you, John. You are now. As in, I was audible when I was asking if I was audible. Was it whilst the video was playing? Because that's when I was sort of aiming for, but I guess we'll have to find out. So the main bits of news today that we will go through are the Ilian Meslier interest from Marseille. Let's be honest, there'll be a lot of conversation around that one because everyone has their own different opinion on Ilian Meslier. There will be a little bit on the interest in Crescencio Somerville from absolutely everybody, and a little touch on Archie Gray, because apparently you've heard a little bit of price tag stuff from that. But I'm going to start with the Ilian Meslier stuff, with the interest from Marseille. Put a video out a little bit earlier today, which I thought sort of covered the entire shebang, why Ilian Meslier might consider a move away because he wants to break into that French national team, and you're not going to do it in the second division of English football when you've not got any continental football yourself. Plus, it's a bit like England, where if you're playing in France, you have a pretty good chance of like breaking your way through, at least compared to an equivalent player in a different country. There's been a little bit more on this, and it includes sort of potential replacement options. I saw the name Marek Rodak thrown around a little bit because apparently he's now out of contract at Fulham. I'll be honest, don't know that much about Rodak. Don't know that much about his style of football. So I'm going to have a quick Google into that as we speak. But that feels like that could be something that is a fairly easy link for someone to make. Also, he's reportedly on 15 grand a week, which isn't too bad in the slightest, to be honest with you. Let's have a quick look. Didn't really play at all last season. Season before, played a teensy tiny bit, but he's not played proper football for a good while. Last time he did play like a proper league season was the season that Fulham got promoted into the Premier League, which, to be honest, that's not too bad. Could be worse. Let's have a look at his match logs from this season. That's not even this season. That's 22-23. But even then, there's very little data on the style of goalkeeper that he is. God damn it. That's no fun. Good morning, Grumpy Lumpy. Good morning, Ricky Panzer. Patterson from Sunderland. I've not seen that much about Patterson from Sunderland, I'll be completely honest with you. All I can see about Rodak is various bits of, like, I don't even know. Like, my question is Rodak even an upgrade because he's not played football in 2 years? Who knows? This is what we're talking about at the moment. We're talking about the Meslier potential move to Marseille because of all the various factors that are going on around that. And it could be very, very interesting. I haven't seen much about Patterson from Sunderland, so I'm going to have a quick look. Good morning, Danny and chat. Hopefully we're all very, very well. Let's skip to Sunderland. Let's have... No, I want the club, not a man called Lawson Sunderland, who's an American. Very weird name, by the way. Anthony Patterson. That's going to be a tough sell, isn't it? Yeah, that's a bit... I get the idea behind it. I'm just going to do a quick screen share now. I've got him up. Milinkovic-Savic from Torino, for someone who slots straight in, would be a fan favourite fast as a young quality prospect. Oliver Dovin Hammerby. Let's have a quick look. I saw you suggest these in the video that I did a little bit earlier, which was very, very nice. It's given me something to think about. I'll have a very quick look at the Hammerby bloke now. And I can't remember which Milinkovic-Savic it is, because there's always a lot of Milinkovic-Savic's. Is it Vanya Milinkovic-Savic? Maybe. It's one of those surnames where there's like too many footballers. It's like the Dembélés. There's 1,000 Dembélés. Let's get the right level of zoom. There we go. We're a little bit too close to my face there. Morning, Joe. Things are going to start moving next week. I would say probably yes. I would be distinctly surprised if we don't get some movement going on next week, because what I think the barrier is at the moment is it's the first of, what month is it? Jesus. July. The 1st of July is the new accounting year. And I think that ticking over will mean that a lot more clubs are willing to do a lot more business, and things will start to happen. Not only bids coming our way, but bids going outwards, because it means that that last financial year will have passed and we can just start doing things. Yeah, I got there in the end. Thank you. What about giving Caldalo a try? Caldalo deeply terrifies me. I would say that in a nice way, but I don't know if there is a nice way to say that. Honestly, we rely so much on a decent level of passing football that I just don't think that it works. It's a little bit too tricky for me. Okay, I'm having a quick look at Vanya Milinkovic-Savic, and my main issue here is how the hell do we expect to be able to sign Vanya Milinkovic-Savic? Yeah, he's a good goalkeeper. You are not going to get me denying that. However, he played 36 times last season for Torino. I do not see Vanya Milinkovic-Savic making a move. I'll see if he's potentially considering it, but he had a fight with a fan in a Munich bar. That's a fun one. And that came out last night, so that's maybe we don't touch that one. I'll search the word transfer as well. Yeah, no. Last season Inter Milan were looking at him for 20 million euros, and that's not the sort of money that we're going to be able to put at a goalkeeper. He wouldn't be sub 10, not even a little bit. I think the better chance would be the Oliver Dovin, who, let's have a look at his numbers. We don't have detailed numbers because FBref doesn't keep detailed numbers on. Right. It's a league that I can never know if I've got the name right of. Is it Allsvenskan? Is that what I'm aiming for? I hope so. But yeah, I wouldn't know enough, to be honest. It'd be a tough one. Any news on Somerville? Nothing further other than the general, like, there might be interest conversation things which are going on. So as far as I can tell from Crescencio Somerville, there is still interest from absolutely everybody, including Brighton, including Chelsea, because they're both sort of in the market for wide attacking players at the moment. Chelsea, for some reason, in the market for wide attackers, despite having been in the market for wide attackers every single transfer window since Todd Bowley took over. But I'm not going to complain if they want to give us what we think the price estimate is going to be, which is 35 to 40 million pounds, which is a really good amount of money for Crescencio Somerville. I saw some people say that, like, we wouldn't necessarily take it, but that's at the point of, I think that's the point of, okay, but you're paying more than what his actual value is, because I wouldn't call him a 40 million pound footballer. Like, if you're looking at it, I'd say 25, 30. Like, he's had a really good season in the Championship, fair enough, but I don't know if that's where his true level is, because when he comes up against defenders that know what they're doing or sit deeper, he starts to struggle a bit more. And I feel like although he was incredible in the Championship, when it comes to the Premier League, he will struggle, and I don't know if he's quite worth that valuation. And that's the 40 million pounds is rebuild the squad money, rather than just cover some transfer debt money. And that's the point where you have to go, okay, yeah, legit, perfect. A sale makes sense. Where he goes, I think Brighton is probably the best shout for him. I think behind Brighton, you're maybe looking at if Palace maybe consider it, because if they manage to keep Michael Olise. Beyond that, I'm not entirely certain. I've got to be completely honest with you. Also, as I keep forgetting to say, but I think I've remembered to put in the description this time, I am also streaming this over on Twitch. So if you have a Twitch account, hop over and follow me over there. I'm not even at 100 followers on Twitch at the moment. So if anyone has a Twitch account, fancies hopping over, go and say hello. Be massively appreciated. Thank you. Outside of that, hold on, quick check. Chelsea wants Somerville as a Sterling replacement. Is Sterling leaving, though? Because Sterling is on huge wages. Let's check Sterling news. I'm not entirely sure that there's a move for him. I don't know who is going to... It's one of those where he's been tipped for a move, but that's one of those situations where everyone is sort of like, but what does that mean? Like everyone's saying, oh, he should move. It'd be good for his career. Well, that's nice, but that doesn't mean that he's necessarily going to do it. It's weird and complicated, and yeah. All back at training next week, except for those at Euros and Copa America. Yes, that should be quite good because that means we've got a nice full early preseason in. The slight concern is any new signings won't have the full preseason, but they'll have enough of a preseason. Ideally, I think we'll aim to have them done by Germany, but it's hard to be certain, I think. If we don't have them done by the Germany tour, then that's where I think we can get a little bit more concerned and thinking things over, but I think we'll be completely okay. Red Bull will have some scouts looking for us. I genuinely think that the Red Bull scouting network isn't people being, hello, Danny, over in the Twitch chat. I genuinely think that the Red Bull scouting network isn't just each club has their scouts and they send some information. I think it's just a Red Bull network, and then we'll be sort of okay, if we want a player that's in this profile, they will have already looked, and it's fine. Any news on Willie? Not that I've seen as of late. Recently on the Willie Gnonto stuff, it seems to have gone a little bit quiet. I feel like if there is going to be a move, it's going to be to Italy. Maybe there were recent discussions on Napoli, on what's the other one? Juve, for example, who both had relatively poor attacks last season, and Napoli are likely to, well, I say this, Napoli might lose Kvaratskhelia, although their sporting director is saying we will not lose Kvaratskhelia. That feels like a nice way of saying if we're offered enough cash, he's out the window. So I feel like with Gnonto, it's going to be Italy or it's not going to happen. I'm not entirely sure about the Premier League, although someone mentioned Everton recently, which I feel would be very weird because Everton just got Jack Harrison back, and I don't know if, considering Harrison wasn't starting every single week and fans already weren't that happy with him, I'm not sure. Seeing if anyone in here, so I'll comment on here. Thank you very much. Danny is over on Twitch. If you want to hop over on Twitch, I've popped my link above. It's this one right here that I've forgotten to pin in the YouTube chat because for some reason I have hidden the live studio from myself. Am I an idiot? Absolutely. But it takes an idiot to make stuff on YouTube. Italy seems to money. That's the thing. You'd think that because the TV deal isn't incredible for them. Sure, fine. All good. However, it's not just TV deal specifically for Italy that we're talking about here. It's also at the same time, you need to think, 1 second, YouTube Studio's being a bit of a twat to me. In addition to their TV revenue, you've also got to consider that they've got teams with European football money. So, Juve aren't financially struggling because they've got Champions League cash. The likes of Roma aren't struggling particularly. Well, they sort of are. I don't see Roma being in that conversation, but that's because their spending is stupid and daft and silly. But I genuinely think that to say that Italy won't sign Willie Gnonto or there will be no clubs in Italy with any interest feels a little bit dismissive of a country that is still one of the higher revenue leagues. Good morning, Dr. Cox. No risk at all selling Cree because if he does bomb, he'll be back on the market cheaper and we could have him back. If he does well, we're apart. Don't know what you mean, but either way, we will have gotten significant amounts of cash from him, and I think it's probably for the best to make that move happen for us. Part of the story and legacy. Cool. Sorry, didn't see it was 2 messages. That's a left Gnonto Everton. They tried it last season. I don't see them trying it again, to be completely clear, but it could happen. Any news on Rodon? I don't think we get him. The most recent I saw was... And I'm just going to Google to double check. Basically, things went a little bit quiet. I don't know if you can hear over my microphone, but the next door neighbours are doing some construction work right now, which is great fun because they're currently, I think, scraping something against the wall that is directly behind the camera. So let me know if that's audible, and I'll try and do something to rejig my mic settings if it is. If it isn't, brilliant. Thankfully, though, Southampton, who were reportedly having a look at Rodon, seemingly have a different £10 million deal thing going on for a different centre-back, which means that we might be okay on the Rodon front. I think Ipswich are also potentially likely to be in that discussion. It's just whether or not they do make a move. Chelsea want everyone. They want Lookman and Dewsbury Hall. Yeah, I mean, that's just who they are, though, isn't it? I'm not sure on Lookman. I don't know if they do that, because Lookman sort of flopped when he was at Fulham. First signing at Celtic. What? Who have Celtic signed? I don't know, but they're looking at Kelleher at Liverpool. Maybe we could look at Kelleher at Liverpool. I feel like he'd look more Premier League, though, so that would have to be a loan with an obligation if we go up, I think, to be certain. I'm not sure. Can't hear it, don't worry. Thank you very much. Always good to know. If it does become an issue, though, just tell me and I'll deal with it. Oh, nice. It's the anniversary of me becoming an affiliate over on Twitch. Sorry, there's a little hat that's just popped up on my account. I quite like that. Andrea says he doesn't think Gnonto will be going to Italy. I think if the Premier League comes in, it would be... I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, hang on. Rodek isn't a bad keeper. I've not seen anything of him. He's not played for the last season, so it's quite hard to make a proper judgment on him. Joe, when you get a minute, make gifted memberships the same price as personal memberships. I didn't know that that was a thing. Oh, transfer offer accepted. Okay, cool. The Livakovic thing makes sense. Which does sort of open the door if there is a potential Kelleher move going forwards, but you can never really be certain, can you? If you can, that is. Yeah, this is the potential worry with it. I think it's done by the specific tier or something. I'm not sure. Also, if you do fancy becoming a channel member, it's like, I think it's less than £1 still. I am on the right page to check it. Yeah, it's 99p, and all the revenue that I get from it goes to Prostate Cancer UK, which would be very, very nice if you could take a look. Which category is being recommended as the gifted one? Because if it's the financially irresponsible one, I'm just straight deleting that at the moment. Because, like, I made it as a joke and no one's going with it, so it's all good. Gifted ones are 5 times the price. I don't understand why. Right, 1 second. You're back on here now. Hello, Danny. Don't stress now, check post stream. Oh, but you know me. You know that I will completely forget to check. It's all good. I'll have to double check. Richard, right now, let's not do politicking. Welcome back, Danny. He was only in the Twitch channel. It's fine. Okay. How to change gift membership. here on YouTube. No, it's not what I'm looking for, though, is it? Give him some views and chat in Twitch. Thank you. It depends how much Leeds get for Meslier. On that, there has been a little bit of conversation. It's looking like there is a report of a price tag being set for Ilian Meslier at £20 million. I feel like that is a little bit of a fuck off, we don't want to sell him price. Especially if we're being a little bit real here. Like, I don't know. Sod it. Yeah, that'll do. Right, sod it. All I have done with the YouTube membership stuff is I have now gotten rid of my more expensive membership tier, so it's now just the no £99 one. Which means I'm going to have to put out a members only video at the end of the month to say, hello, if you're a channel member, there's a cheaper one now. Please do that one instead. If you're not a channel member, by the way, and you're on the fence about it, all the money's going to Prostate Cancer UK. And I can prove it because... do a quick cheeky little screen share. Bosh. Yeah, at the moment, this is the Prostate Cancer UK page. We've raised £236 so far, and of that, we have this one, which is from me, but I accidentally did it anonymously, which is just the amount of ad revenue from various like streams and stuff that I've been getting, the amount of money that I've gotten from memberships, and I rounded it up to nearest £10, which was in the end 100. Various episodes of Balls Knowledge revenue, and it just goes throughout. First 4 episodes of Balls Knowledge. As you can see, YouTube videos don't make that much revenue because all of these videos got thousands of views. And combined with my memberships, which is something like, what is it roughly? It's something like 20 quid a month. So each of those videos made about a £5 each. But it's all gone to Prostate Cancer UK, which is very nice. And it teaches the lesson that if you're doing YouTube just for money, don't do it. Do it for fun. It's more worth it that way. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, this I don't understand. What? Let me know in the chat exactly what your reasons are for not liking Ilian Meslier. Because I know that lots of people don't like him. I like Meslier, no wonder he's flappy on crosses, no one that club. Because I know lots of people don't like Ilian Meslier. And I still don't hugely get it. Because most of the complaints that you see are stuff that he's been asked to do. Also, because I was covering it a moment ago, I've just popped a link to Prostate Cancer UK in the chat. If you do fancy donating, you can also hop over there. If you were planning on becoming a channel member at any point, just because it goes to Prostate Cancer UK, this is a much cleaner way of doing it because YouTube takes like a 50% cut from channel memberships. Because YouTube is a hungry bitch. I love him, but plenty of Leeds fans don't. I know, I really like him. Everyone says he doesn't catch the ball from crosses. He's been told to punch the ball away, not catch it. This is the thing. Yeah. A lot of people swing into it saying I don't know why he refuses to catch and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, because those are his instructions. And he's doing what he's been asked by his manager, which is arguably what you kind of want. So it's not only that, the main issue that people have with him is the fact that he doesn't catch, which isn't his fault because it's not his job to catch the ball. It's his job to make sure it's safe, and you do that by punching it 90% of the time. In addition to that, people are saying, why not try Carl Darlow instead? Because Carl Darlow is not as good at the passing side of the game, which is sort of important in like all modern goalkeeping. And beyond that, I don't get it. I don't click. It's either way. Thank you, Hannah. Did you happen to see that your membership got cancelled and you were like, oh, let's fix that? It's because it's now like £4 cheaper for you. Anti-Melia comments from Leeds fans is the majority on YouTube. Yeah, but that's the thing. We're on YouTube, so we're on the perfect place to try and find them. Again, it's not that he can't catch, it's that he chooses not to. It's a situation where if you're from a corner and the ball's coming in and you can catch the ball, sure. But as we saw in the Euros earlier this week, someone tried to catch a ball, someone bumped into them because they were also going for a header. So it wasn't a foul because their eyes were on the ball the entire way in. And the keeper drops the ball and it's a tap-in. And the goal's given. That doesn't happen if you've just punched it. Punch it, it goes 15 yards away. Sure, there might be another player on the edge of the box. But at the same time, that's not 3 yards out to score a goal. I think it's safe. It's comfy. It's fine. I know why people don't like him. It's because he's made 1 or 2 errors, but also he has far more involvement in possession than your average keeper, so there's more room for error. Yeah, he does more passing anyway. I wouldn't say 100 times. I'd just say that he's very clearly rusty. And I don't think whilst being rusty, he is good enough to... I don't know. I wouldn't say he's awful, but I wouldn't necessarily trust him either. Also, fun little fact. If we get a little bit lucky for a moment, this is currently, I think, the highest number of viewers I've ever had on one of my streams that hasn't been raided by like a Joe or something. So thanks, everyone. It's really nice having you here. Genuinely love to see it. It makes me really happy. Majority of the time, he saves ourselves with the ball at his feet, so fuck of a selective memory. It's more of a, like, when he does the long ball stuff, people are like, fucking hell, Meslier, you've missed. But his long ball accuracy is about the same as any other goalkeepers. It's just he does less of them. So when it goes out, you're like, it's every time. It's not every time. It's fine. Also this, if you haven't yet, pop a like on the stream. That helps it get pushed out a little bit more. I genuinely want to see if I can get myself to 100 concurrent viewers at the moment, being a stream that is purely like me trying to push it forwards rather than hosted and stuff. So thank you. I appreciate it. Has Nigel Martin got a son who can play in goal? Nigel Martin the GOAT. Imagine if he did. Like, I feel like goalkeeping isn't genetic, but if it was, ooh, that'd be interesting. Meslier transfer's always been on the cards. I'm all for it, but Leeds have slipped off not going for Victor Johansson, who's a better keeper and was at a bargain price from Rotherham. I would, no matter what, be concerned if Leeds United had signed the goalkeeper from the team that finished at the very bottom of the Championship last season. If Leeds United, when pushing for promotion next year, went for a goalkeeper that is only, well, at the time, was only being chased by like Swansea and Stoke, if we were like pushing that as hard as we could, I'd be genuinely deeply worried because it would stink of not being the right move for us. It'd be a bit... let's keep on going. If we went forward, he'd be put under pressure, padding back. I'm not entirely sure what you mean. but if you want, I can smile and nod because I'm a little bit confused. Also, scroll, let's try and get 4K. That'd be very, very nice of you if you could. Yeah. Current goal is 4K by the start of the season. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to get there. I got a couple of little collabby things coming in the next few weeks that might help, but a lot of those are currently pointed in the general direction of the prostate cancer walk that I'm doing at the start of August. Might do a video around that, but we'll have to find out. Also, I'm away this weekend, so tomorrow's video is going to be something a little bit different. Wonder if you guys have any idea of what that could be. And then Sunday, I've got no idea what the plan is. Genuinely not the foggiest. I'll try and get something done whilst I'm away, but we'll find out. I'd take 6 million for Meslier, a small profit, and get rid of it. That isn't what that says at all, though, because if you look at like the quality of chances that we concede higher quality chances than other clubs do, because when other sides attack against us, it tends to have been because we're in like high positions, which means that they're relatively open. If that sort of makes sense. I'm trying to sort of convey this in a like rational sense, especially since you've just become a member. Thank you very much, Richard. But when other clubs have relatively few chances, the rule of thumb is those tend to be higher quality chances, which means that you are going to concede a little bit more. But I think he brings a little bit more in terms of the passing game than an alternative. But I'm not 100% sure. That's just my view. And at the end of the day, I am also just a daft bastard watching Leeds United. So, won't you miss the Valencia match? I will. And it's a big old shame because let's have a look at when that's kicking off. Leeds versus Valencia. Leeds versus Valencia is kicking off at the exact same time that we are setting off on our walk. Yeah. So that's going to have to be a LUTV audio job, I think. Which is still fine. There's still a cheeky little bit of Popey. Love a bit of Adam Pope. Good morning, Evie. How are things? Hoping less stressy in terms of work and stuff. The creeper at Brentford, someone mentioned the other day. If you're going to say the name David Raya to me, I'm going to kick off. Because I once had, I saw someone recently saying, "Oh, I hear that like it was like a top tier like Liga and Serie A, Bundesliga kind of goalkeeper." I can't remember who it was now. But it was like, "Oh yeah, we could sign him," and it's like, don't think so. Just because he's playing second fiddle, he's not going to take that drop. I'm trying to see who Brentford's goalkeepers even are. Okay, they have Hakon Rafn Valdimarsson, who is Icelandic. Surprisingly, you never could have guessed by his name. Ellery Balcom, Vincent Angelini, Thomas Strakosha, and Mark Flecken. Who, if either of those are leaving, it's going to be Strakosha, but I don't see him forcing a move. Unless he'd be guaranteed first team football. And he's apparently a Chelsea target, so that's good. Goalkeeper's only as good as his defence. Johansson is an excellent goalkeeper, had a poor defence in front of Amelia, the most clean sheets last season, that making the best goalkeeper in the Championship. I think he's one of top 5-ish, genuinely. Like, it's easy to blame a goalkeeper, but at the end of the day, like, there's 10 people in front of a goalkeeper that can stop a chance and can stop the quality of a chance. Folks often blame Meslier too if it was a great finish, meaning if we'd scored the same goal, they wouldn't be saying keeper, they'd be saying great goal. Yeah, but that's just how football fans work, I think. Yeah, Strakosha then. Okay. Spurs top shelf goalie Vicario only cost them 17 to 18 million quid last season. Is this trying to make the point that we wouldn't be selling Meslier for about 20? Because probably wouldn't, yeah. But I think 20 is more of the sort of club's stance of if you can offer anything in the realm of 20 million, sure, you can have him. It feels like a, yeah, fuck off kind of price tag. The sort of one where in Football Manager, if you say a player comes to you wanting a release clause, you say, yeah, sure, someone pays £120 million, you can go for it. That sort of thing, in which we might not necessarily want to sell, but it's sort of saying, if there is an offer too good, then we will sell, and this is the offer that is too good. But who knows? Let's have a quick look. De Gea is a free agent. I'm sure I'd be happy to play, and it'd boil the piss of a certain group. It would boil the piss of a certain group, but then again, like, his wages would be hilarious. What were his wages last time? Last time he had a contract. His last contract at Scum was £400k a week. £400,000 every single week. 20 weeks of David De Gea is the entire TV revenue for the season gone. Probably not. Maybe not. That'd be a distinctly tough sell for anyone. If Schmeichel wasn't accepted because of his dad, De Gea wouldn't be accepted here. Yeah, pretty much. Melior's shot stopping is poor. Right. Okay. Right. I would argue that yes, there's a few things that he should have done better with in the past season. Sure, I get it. However, you've got to consider the amount of times that he has absolutely saved our skin. That Leicester match earlier in the season, the 1-0 win, plucking that out of the top corner, incredible. Norwich match, at home, playoff semi-final, 1-on-1 against Josh Sargent. That stop is spectacular. The way that he stood him up and basically said, right, you make your decision, I will respond, and I will respond perfectly. And he did. And that's the thing, shot stopping isn't just someone's had a go from long range, can you stop it? It's every single aspect of it, I think. And I wouldn't call his shot stopping poor. I'd say that he's got the odd mistake in him. But at the same time, very few of them are howlers. His biggest mistake last season was trying to push someone away, not realizing that they were about 2 feet tall and pushing him in the face. Like, as goalkeepers go, it could be worse. Good morning, Joe, and Joe guest in the chat. I trust this message finds you well. I'm writing to request a detailed analysis and a breakdown of the upcoming Leeds United season. I'm considering doing something like that soon. Although, I feel like we might be having an analysis of last season from a certain someone in the chat soon. As an expert in the field, no, I am not that. Your insights and expertise would be invaluable. It would not in understanding the team's prospects and potential for success. I greatly appreciate time and effort. It's something that I'm thinking of doing. I'm thinking of doing a season preview. I'm not entirely sure when. It'd be before the first match, I'm guessing. Maybe. Oh, maybe that's the video that I put out for the Sunday of the walk. That could work. I like that. That's a good idea. If you guys think it's a good idea too, like, of course, because you guys are the ones that will be watching it. One-on-ones class. Yeah, absolutely. Kyle Walker-Peters going West Ham in a swap deal for Flynn Downs. Yeah, Kyle Walker-Peters was absolutely never going to stay where he was. He's a little bit better than that. Good reflexes, decent shot stopper, decent sweeper keeper, average distribution, but flappy on crosses, can sometimes look nervous. I don't think he looks nervous. I think he looks young. And I think looking young naturally gets mistaken for looking naive and daft. I say this as someone who goalkeeps. I feel like he gets tarred with that flappy brush, like time and time again, but I also feel like that's not really his fault in the slightest. Again, it's what he's been told to do. He's always been trained to punch the ball clear. When asked to catch, he can catch. Like, anyone that's been in the ground during, like, a warm-up will say, oh yeah, the goalkeeper coaches are pinging the ball at him quite hard, and he's caught all of them. That tells me that, like, catching is fine. It's just he's not doing it because he's not being asked, you know? Josh Sargent stop in slow motion. Meslier didn't blink even as the boot script over his face. Absolutely insane. I've not seen it in slow motion, to be honest. I saw it in the ground and I watched a replay of it once or twice and just went, and then decided to never watch it again. Because if there were any technical mistakes he made in there, I don't want to know it. Because I was just really happy with what happened in the moment. Follow Leeds due to Bielsa. Mellier's good. Leeds fans are whingers. I think all football fans basically are, though, to be fair. Which keeper do you want? Ilian Meslier. It depends. Are we talking realistic? Are we talking doable? Who knows? If Leeds can get 10 million for a goalkeeper that no Leeds fan has confidence in at corners, takes too long in making a decision on the ball. No, but these are all things that he's been like. I don't know. If you don't have confidence, then that's your choice, I guess. Like Meslier, I hope he doesn't leave. I'm in a similar boat, I think. He's not commanding his area on crosses for me. It's easily his biggest weakness. I think that's fair. That's definitely something that comes with age, though. In my opinion, at the very least. Something that could be good viewing in the week running up to the first game. Maybe do a stream on 4 different championship club statuses for 6 days. And then on the final day before kickoff, a Leeds analysis special. That's not a bad idea. I quite like that. You'll find that one out very, very soon. Sell by the right price. I get that, but I feel like that's the case for any footballer. Like, if you receive enough money, there's no one that you would be out and out, I'm going to keep this guy. Meslier needs a new environment to develop further. Maybe. I'm not sure. It's confusing. Bit weird though, he's brave when it comes to one-on-one diving at someone's feet. That bravery disappears on crosses. I don't know if it does. I think that's sort of trained bit, because it's a situation where if there is... Right. I don't know... Is that Red Bull? I'm afraid not. It's a rival. I don't like Red Bull. It tastes like petrol. I think with the crosses thing, I don't know if that's a question of bravery or if that's a question of personal choice. If that's a question of... Because when I was being coached goalkeeping stuff, the general rule of thumb was always, if there's a ball coming into the box and you are not at least 90% sure that you can win that ball, pull out of it and get set on your line. Because if I'm going to go for a ball and there is 50-50 chance I get it, yeah, half the time I'm getting my hand on that. The other half the time I'm completely missing, and it's a further 50-50 chance that it falls to the feet of an opposing forward, which is bad. Because that's where the goals happen. And it might be a question of you have a different concept of risk to Ilian Meslier. Maybe it's a case of you see things as less risky than he does, but I think it's a question of trying to make himself as safe as can be in those situations. Let's have a little bit of a look through. We don't have any competent goalkeepers to push him, so he knows he's going to be number one. I think that's what we tried to do last season, then it turned out that Darlow just isn't that good, which is spooky. But who knows? I envisage we could get to the situation where we stand on our prices, players get annoyed, want to leave, then we sell and leave our incoming transfers too late. That is a thing that can happen, which is maybe not good. But I think we're a little bit smarter than that. I do still trust the 49ers because the number of people that we've had, like, saying fairly wildly as well, like, we're in serious deep trouble here because the 49ers can't do business. And you look at last season and you're like, well, we got Piru in, we got Ampadu in, we got Gruev in, we got Kamara in, we got Rodon in on loan, Anthony in on loan, and we managed to retain Ruter and Somerville and Gnonto and Meslier. They know how to do business. They know what they're doing. And I feel like to act the other way is odd. Might get suspended due to sponsorship rival contract. If Red Bull want to sponsor the channel, then I am sure I could find a way to enjoy that drink. If they don't, then How many loan players last season are going to come back this season? I genuinely don't think any. I think Ampadu isn't on loan, so I don't know why I went to Ampadu. I think Rodon is probably going to find a permanent move to like an Ipswich. I can see Connor Roberts not moving because Burnley won't want to strengthen a rival. Jaden Anthony won't want to come back because he didn't get enough minutes, although he might if Somerville's gone. That's a bit of a question mark. I've forgotten who else came on loan. Jed Spence gone. Who else came on loan? Why am I forgetting this? I don't know. He's a young keeper. I think this is what we're all forgetting. Like, goalkeepers peak at a higher age than other players. Most players will peak 25, 26. Goalkeepers you see in 29, 30, 31. He's 24. He's not even an outfielder's peak age at the moment. It's fine. Be right. Who are the best players in Copa America 2024 and Euro 2024 right now? Best player in Copa America is Brendan Aronson because the USMNT haven't won a match without him on the pitch. And the best player at Euro 2024 is, and this is a shout out to the people who watch the Football Manager streams, Dennis Mann of Romania. What a boy. We love him. If you had to take one back, would it be Harrison or Adams? Adams. Purely because we're weaker in midfield. Surprise package in the Championship and Premier League next season. We will get to that in a video that is coming tomorrow. Burnley got a new coach. Not yet. They were looking at Van der Sar, if I remember correctly, and then he's going to Scum instead. Rasmus out on loan to... Oh, yeah. I didn't think that you meant the players that we loaned out. It'll be tough finding a move for Rasmus. And there's a genuine chance that we have to keep Max Buber. I think on first we'll announce Rodon on a loan to buy. That'd be nice, but I feel like we'd have a little bit more discussion around it before now. I don't know. Would Amari Hutchinson? Nope. He's being sold to Ipswich for £20 to £25 million, as far as I'm aware. Man is the man. Absolutely, man is the man. Darko JB might be the next to be overlooked. I think there's a chance JB stays at the club next season because he did all right at Plymouth last year. I don't see him getting that many minutes, but it's a question of, is it being overlooked if like there's someone vastly better than you in the position? This is why I was very confused with all the Charlie Crosswell discussion last year, because everyone was saying Charlie Crosswell needs to get in the side, and it's like, well, do you want to not play Joe Rodon? Because when we did that, we got hammered. I think that was the Southampton match. Do you want to not play Ampadu, who is also really strong and sturdy and stable, and also captain of the side a lot of the time. It's a tricky one, and one way I think we need to have like a proper like conversation over at what point does rotation make more sense. We do need to be a little bit better at rotating players, but it's a question of when, I think. Melia's had more experience than most 27-year-old keepers in 24, for example. He's had more experience than Ramsdale. But a lot of it isn't just experience. A lot of it is physicality and stuff like that. It's your body physically developing. I think your body stops developing at like 25, and from that point, you're just on the way down, which is really great to hear as a 26-year-old. But like, he's got a lot of like development to come, both mentally and physically, I think. Harrison, he can cross. So can Firpo. Just keep Firpo. That'll do. Rasmus be a decent squad player, cover 3 positions. I don't know if he can play at defensive midfield, and he can barely be a centre back. So who knows? Got beat from a simple header against a QPR. Who did? Wait, hang on. So you're telling me that no good keepers ever conceded a header? The new back four because we've not got any cover. Yeah, we need a lot of cover at centre back, I feel. We need new right backs, and I would argue a secondary left back. I think if we were to get a fullback that can do right and left, and by that I don't mean they're a right back that can play on the left. I'm saying someone that genuinely can do both equally well will be in a really good spot. That's whether that happens or not. Also, this 100 odd people in here, only 46 likes. Let's get that pushed. Let's hit 50. Why not? And we did cross the 100. First time that I've managed to do that without a host or anything, which is really appreciated. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Hang on, I'm just going to very quickly check something. West Ham have what Pete is from Southampton. Could this mean Ben Johnson's heading our way? It might. But there's a question of would he want Premier League football or top division football? Because I've got no doubt that he could get it in the Bundesliga or in France, because they've got a slightly lower standard than the Premier League. That's the only issue that I would have. Is there some question about that? And apparently, he might be off to Ipswich. Says 2 people. And I'm going to call that my sources, so that'll do. Old Joe. I'm not that old. I'm the younger Joe on Leeds United YouTube. Thank you very much. We also not covered the other story that's happened. Archie Gray reportedly, sorry, cat hair, being marketed at something like 50 million, not 50, 30 million quid, which I think is probably a fair price. As sad as it is to say, it's not quite fuck off territory. It's not quite that 40, 50 million quid point, but it's still comfortably in the I don't think clubs pay that, and if they do, it's a little bit more than he's worth at the moment level. I don't know. There is the argument that it's a little bit too low. But then again, you've got to consider he's had 1 season behind him where he played at right back. And it's hard to say how that will translate. So the clubs that would likely pay 30 million quid, I don't know whether they make that decision or not. It is a difficult one. Something that I'm going to do very, very quickly is I'm going to do Immaculate Footy, because I quite like that. That's always been fun to do. English football. Oh, it's a Leeds one. Right, let's just do a very, very quick screen share.
I'll see you tomorrow at 12.
Where is it? There we go, screen share. And we'll just discuss the Archibald McGray bits and bobs at the same time. It's a Leeds one. We do have a slight issue in that if we pick Dan James here, we can't pick Dan James here, which means that this one's going to have to be Piru, unless we can think of another Swansea player. Maybe. I don't know. He definitely wouldn't. Absolutely no. That one wouldn't happen. Archie, bloody cat. Right, Archie can only get better. Will be worth 50 million once we're a Premier League club. His value will go up, definitely. I think no. I think he won't want to go, but I think if there are offers with guarantees of playtime, he's gonna have to listen to them because it would be very, very daft for them to not. No, he won't. He's already agreed to return to what's the name of that team? Betis. This was 25, I think, not 30. Right. Let's go with the easy one first. Let's go Dan James. And let's go for Jean Pirou. Why does he look like that? Why is his hair as light as his face? It's not what you look like. Ho ho ho. No, you see, this is why I was like, it was a really good idea to film like the teaser thing. I was going to completely not acknowledge it, but I was like, you know what? If it makes a conversation happen, that's all good. Right. Ooh. Do we want Weston? Do we want Tyler? Or do we want Brendan? Who's going to get the lowest percentage? I think the least will be Weston McKennie. 29. Shit. Probably wrong. Yes, that's the end of the financial year. Rodon played for... So he did. Shit. I don't know who's done Leeds and Ipswich. This one's throwing me a bit. What's his name? I think Carter Vickers has played for Scum. Shit. 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 Oh, Leif Davis. Why did I forget about Leif Davis? And he's so very good. That's annoyed me. Right. Brighton Bunch, I've got no ideas. Paul Myron at Ipswich and Scum. Let's give that a go. Did Tim Howard play for Scum? I thought he was just Everton. Carter Vickers was at Spurs. Ah, shit. Right, I'll trust you on Paul Mariner. Oh, was that too long ago? Paul Mariner's not there. Tom Howard? But which one? Are we talking Brighton, the US, or... I'm guessing you mean in this one. Never mind, he played for Scum. Okay. Right, we've got 3 to go. 4 to go, because I forgot this one. And it's all Brighton, baby. Why can't I think of any Brighton players? Carl Rushworth for Brighton, Swansea. Ooh. I'm so mad at that. That's infuriated me. Trossard. Who did Trossard play for? That wasn't Brighton. Milner at Brighton. But he also needs to have played for these. I've only got 2 guesses left as well. So they're going to have to be good ones. I'm trusting you guys. Which always feels like a mistake. No, it doesn't. You guys are great. Sod it. I'm giving up. I want to see who it comes out with. Who are your 2 options for Brighton? Oh, that is horrific. That's genuinely horrible. Milner at Brighton. Yeah, but which? Gyökeres played for Brighton and Swansea. What? Okay. That's a horrific list. That's a genuinely horrible list. How about Brighton Ipswich? Chris Wood? Sarmiento's there. He's been mentioned, but I didn't see it in time. That is genuinely horrible. One of the worst ones. Can we do one more? Do we want to do one more? I'll see what it looks like. No, we can't do one more. I said no. No. No, that's unfriendly. That's deeply unhappy. Anyway. So, looking at those potential moves that we've had a little bit of a natter about. I'm going to do a very quick poll of which player is most likely to go. I'm just going to let it run for about 5 minutes. We're going to have a nice little natter. And who else shall we add? That'll do. Who's most likely to go? Meslier, Gray, Somerville. Because I don't know where I stand on it, to be completely honest with you. I think there's a good few options there. Some jump ship over to the other Joe. They're bastards. How dare they? It's fine. I didn't even know Joe was streaming, to be honest with you. But he is. So I'm going to set that up as a redirect because sod it. I might also have a watch. You might as well. All three. That's so pessimistic. I don't think all three go. We'll be fine. Right, you're saying JB raid on Just Joe. However, we're not going to go just saying JB raid. What we're going to do is it's going to be a little bit of a reference to some of my other streams. What we're going to do is we're going to go over there and we're going to be shouting up the sponge pegs. Because as a general rule of thumb, we all talk square pegs, round holes. So my Football Manager save at the moment, we are exclusively looking for sponge pegs, which are players that can play in multiple positions and excel in all of them, which is always quite nice. So, the plan is, we're going to go over there, we're going to shout up the sponge pegs, and we're going to have a fantastic time watching a pretty nice stream. So I'll give the poll another moment or so, but it looks like 67% of people think it is going to be Crescencio Somerville that is most likely to go, and honestly, I completely understand why. But what we're going to do, call the stream to a quick end there. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, pop a like on it, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You could even be a channel member. The only option right now is 99p. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. I will see you over on Joe's channel. See you later. Ta-ra.